Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your favorite everything. This is JR Wisdom once again with another episode of the Atlanta Noir podcast. And this evening, guys, we got a special guest. You guys may have seen his face. Very opinionated, somewhat controversial gentleman here. Been on several different podcasts. You may see him on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, popping up everywhere. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. This is Aaron, aka Mr. LetGo. How you doing this evening, sir?
What's up? What's up? What's going on, bro?
Hey,
What's
man.
up? What's up?
Hey, man, I'm glad to have you here this evening. How was that drive over here?
Oh man, the drive was no problem, man.
Awesome,
No problem.
Yeah,
This Atlanta, you know,
Just
I'm used to it.
I keep hearing that, man.
Yeah.
But glad you made it safe and everything. And hopefully we definitely have an interesting conversation for the people that don't know you other than what we see in the controversial clips and shorts and whatnot. So without further ado, Aaron, man, where's the origin story start at for you?
One, a coach, and there's a origin story to that. Then also, people look at me as this controversial person, like you say, and there's an origin story to that. And on the way over here, just as an example, I was listening to the old Plies, right?
Yeah.
And the new Plies, I don't know about what's going on with the new Plies. He's weird, but
Yeah.
the old Plies, that kind of is where I am now, the old Plies. Like we talk about all this Diddy stuff and all these rappers playing with each other's booties and all this dumb stuff. Like Plies, even though I don't know him personally, the way he used to rap, he was like, yo, I don't conform to what all these other rappers doing.
Sure.
I'm not wearing the shiny suits. I'm going to be ghetto. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. Back then, he had his grill in. He ain't taking his grill out. F y'all. This is who I am. Y'all just do all this corporate stuff. I know what y'all doing behind the scenes, booty stuff.
Right.
I'm not doing none of that. I'm always going to be me. And he was able to stay successful by being that quote unquote real nigga. And I'm not Plies. I ain't got no gold teeth and all the other stuff. I used to have gold teeth, but the point is, I always had that attitude of F everybody if they don't like it. So that always gave me the freedom to just be myself. So like with Plies, he was himself. There was no other rapper like Plies. He was this little short dude with a grill in his mouth and just with a demeanor.
Certified goon.
And he just did what he wanted to do. And he became famous because of him, not because he wore shiny suits, not because he had Rolexes on, not because he had a Maybach, none of that stuff. He ain't had none of that stuff. He was just this dude. So part of my origin story was like, I've always just been myself in any environment. So with me, that is what separates me from anybody else, just in the content world, in the coaching world, in the podcast world. I've never had to do the Derek Jackson, the pandering to women, or these other dudes who be pandering to men, which is weird to me. I don't pander to nobody. If you don't like me, you kiss my ass. But if you like me, we gonna rock out. So the origin story is just that. If you just think about Plies, that really is the origin story that made me, as I would say, because the word isn't really controversial. It's just like real. Most people, for views, for clicks, they gotta think a certain kind of way. They gotta agree with a certain group of people. They gotta talk a certain way. I came in a game by myself. My first video was by myself. And that's who I am, by myself. I ain't got no podcast full of people. It's just me. And that's kind of like how I started, and that's how I always was. Because I'm an only child. So I've always just been by myself. So I can just move just by myself without having a crew of people.
Yeah. So where you from originally?
I'm from Philly,
You from
but
Philly?
I've been here all my life. Yeah. when I was a child, I was in Philly, like 5, 6, 7.
So you've been down here since you was like 7, 8 years old? Okay.
Yeah, but part of the origin story is what I learned from my dad in Philly.
Okay.
You know how we talk about single motherhood, all this other stuff. I was raised by my father and then by my mother. And from 0 to the age of 6, I was raised by my father. And to me, that was the most important part of my life, because when you're a child, from everything that I've learned from my coaching, neurologically, you get the majority of your neurons. The majority of your neurons form between the age of 1 to 6, or the 1 to 7. So I was around my dad when the majority of my neurons formed. And my dad used to actually have me and my cousin jog 10 miles to the Liberty Bell in Philly when I was 5 and 6. So think about that, right? This single mother that, why are these dudes so soft? I would say it's because they didn't have that type of grit when they were young. I had the grit when I was a baby, when I was a child. Not when I was a baby, but when I was a child. You feel me? My dad was always a military type of person. Do this, do that. Stop doing this. I used to have like buck teeth, and he was like, stop breathing out your mouth. Breathe out your nose. So he just like, It was just all this like just this jarring like demands. So by the time because my mom took me away from my dad.
Okay.
So when I went to Atlanta, I had that programming. So I would say I was programmed by my dad, but raised by my mother.
Okay.
And because of that, origin story wise, I was able to see the actual contrast between being raised by a father and being raised by a mother separately, because I never was raised by both of them together. So I was able to see the difference between them. So because of that, just in my opinion, I don't know what I was thinking when I was a child. Now I'm 7, whatever, with my mom only. And my mom was moving really wacky. She didn't have a job. We was on welfare. She sat around smoking weed all the time. And she was loving. Like, me and my mom was like this. So there's positives and negatives. But from the content creator, all these single mothers and stuff, my mom was that type of single mother. She had different like dudes over. I seen my mom get slapped around every now and then or whatever. And I seen this woman, this single mother acting like woman, dealing with men, pookie pickers. She was a pookie picker. She was a loser chooser. But we had a great relationship. So that's the difference between me and a lot of other people. My mom wasn't abusive. Nothing ever happened to me.
Yeah.
My mom, because she didn't have a job, she was at home with me every day. Every single day of my young life that I woke up, mom was in the living room. We ain't had no money. We was broke. I was mad because we ain't had no money. But I did not have the neglect. I did not have the verbal abuse. I did not have the physical abuse. My mom just was cool as hell, but with her and her life was trash. My life was beautiful in relation to the relationship with me and my mom. So the thing about it is, as you grow up and you see all these single mothers doing this, doing that, I have an understanding that dudes got a problem as well as women got a problem. So a lot of people on social media, they're either going to take the dude side, oh, these women are trash, or either they're going to take the women's side, oh, these men are trash. No, everybody trash, in my opinion. And I think that's what makes me different than the rest of the people just online. I was able to see a man raise me and a woman raise me and see the difference. So when my mom was getting slapped around or whatever, I wanted to save my mom from herself, but I was too little. And I vowed just as a kid, when I get old enough, I want to stop all this. And at the age of 13 was the year I changed my life and my mother's life. Because she kept having these bum ass dudes just over to the house, sitting in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was like, all right. So now at the age of 13, I'm selling drugs because you got to remember, I'm in the hood.
Right.
We broke. How am I gonna get my joints? How am I gonna buy some shirts? We ain't got no we ain't got no school clothes money. So I had to jump off the porch
Mm-hmm.
and get out there and get it how I live. So I started selling drugs, and I had a little crew of dudes where we were selling drugs just in a little trap. So when a dude comes over to the house dating my mom that was slapping my mom around, and then she kicks him out, and then here he comes trying to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can do something about this now. Because of how my dad raised me, I had the mentality of this is my house. This is not her house. This is my house. Because I asked a lot of questions. My dad taught me how to ask. My dad always taught me ask questions. Wherever you don't take no for an answer, ask questions. If you don't understand something, always ask me a question, right? I asked my mom a lot of questions just as I'm growing up. Ma, how is it that you don't have to work and we don't get put out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're on something called Section 8. And I'm on something called welfare.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So what is that? Welfare, the government sends me a check every month and they send me food stamps so we can have food. Oh, okay. Wow, that's crazy. So you ain't got to work and they just do this and do that. But as a kid, you ask your other friends about their lives, right? Do your mom, they having dudes over your house? Like, yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I was like, damn. So we all had issues with grown men messing with our mamas and beating on our mamas and shit. So all our mamas were getting abused as a kid. I had a homeboy, his mom was selling ass out the house while he was in the back room. Little Scrappy's mama, she was like a pimp. But this other dude, she was a prostitute. And he had to deal with all that. So a lot of kids in my neighborhood, we had these issues, but we was too little to deal with them. But because I was programmed by my militant father versus them, I had somewhat of an edge on them. So what happened with me, I would ask my mom about Section 8. And she said, Section 8 is when you have a child, okay, a child, me. When you have a child, they give you 10% off your rent. So our rent is $350 versus, no, our rent was $35 instead of $350 a month.
So you pay 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay. And I was selling dope. My mom didn't know, but I would have a little, I would cut grass, do a little. I was like, Ma, can I pay the rent? You want to pay the rent? Yeah, I want to pay the rent. How you gonna pay the rent? I'll just cut some more grass. I'm selling dope.
Right.
Okay, it's $35. So I started paying the rent. I'm trying to take over the house. So because of certain things that my dad taught me, you have to earn your right to have whatever it is you want. So if you want dominion over something, you had to earn that. So I'm just remembering certain things from my dad. So I'm like, okay, I got to earn what I want. So if I want my mom to sit her down or do this or stop having these dudes over here, I got to be tough and which is protective.
Right.
And at the same time, I got to show my mom that I can provide too. As a kid, I'm 13.
Right.
So I started paying the rent, $35 a month. So I'm paying the rent. So next thing, I'm like, all right, now these niggas. Dude comes over to the house. I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna happen. You got to get out. My mom has no idea what my plan is. So she's like, excuse me?
How old are you at this time?
13.
13?
13.
Okay.
So she's like, what are you doing? He got to go, Mom. Like, he slapped you around for the last time. He got to go. Grown man, 40-year-old man, get up. What? We got a problem? Who you talking to? Aaron? Because he's been around me. So he's looking at little Aaron, right? He's coming back because they used to be together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. I ain't got no problems. So I go to the back, call my homeboys. They over there playing Sega Genesis, at my other homeboy's crib. So I'm like, yo, bring the bats, come to my back porch. We got some smoke. I'm like, oh, they like, okay. So they come to the back porch. So I just nicely just walk out to the back. And we waited for the dude to come outside. My mom's dude trying to get back with my mom's, right?
Yeah.
And we politely beat the dog out of him in my front lawn for the whole neighborhood to see. That was one of the most beautiful days of my life.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those Japanese movies when they avenge their parent. I avenged all the times that he whooped my mom's ass. So now I'm feeling great because I'm officially the protector of 186. So I'm feeling good. Dude ran off, bleeding and stuff. And all of a sudden, my homeboys ran off. Wait, why y'all? What happened?
Yeah.
And back in the hood, we never had AC.
Yeah.
So all the windows was open because there's no AC. My mom is in the house, standing at the window, calling 911, describing what I got on. So I'm looking up like, say I got a shirt on. He got a striped shirt on and black jeans. Wait, what the? So I just took out running. My mom called the police on me. The most beautiful day of my young life. But my mom done ruined it, called the police on me. This is when I started realizing that women are nuts. So I finally get back to my mom's house, probably about 2 days later, because I'm scared.
Yeah.
I go spend it out at my homeboy's house. Back in the day, you can spend it out at your homeboy's house, no problem. So I come back home, I'm sitting next to my mom, and this is the origin story at the top. I sit down with my mom, I'm like, Mom, why would you call the police on me?
Yeah.
Aaron, you were beating on Joe, right? But he was beating on you.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. You call the police on your son that is beating on a man that be beating on you. But never in 6 years of us living here and throughout these years, all these different dudes, never have I seen you call the police on these men that were beating on you. But you're gonna call the police. So you're gonna call the police on me for beating on them, but you never call the police on them for beating on you. And she just looked down. She was just like, Aaron, messing with you, I'm never gonna find a man. What?
Yeah.
What? But then I'm like, but Mom, it's the dudes that you be dating.
Yeah.
It's other guys that you can date. Because you know how you a kid and you little, it be dudes that be looking at your mama booty.
Yeah.
And you'll turn around and mean mug them. My mom was very pretty. She was like small. She was like super pretty. I'm like, it's dudes all over that be trying to holler at her. Yeah. And I was like, what about Mrs. Because I be seeing people in the neighborhood trying to holler at her. She said, he's not my type. I don't know what the hell my type means. I'm not even really into girls yet.
Yeah.
Somewhat, but not really. I'm still a virgin at 13. So I don't know what my type really means. You 13, you don't have a type. You want some sex? You want? I don't give a damn, like a fat girl, whatever, whatever. I don't know about no type. I said, what do you mean type? She said, he's short. But these dudes don't have no job, Mom.
Yeah.
And she turns around and looked at me and said, I ain't got no job. Whoa. And it hit me. I didn't understand it then, but going to today now, just the social media world with the single mother stuff, it dawned on me before I even knew what this actually meant or to be able to articulate it. Women, men too, but we're talking about women, single mothers in particular, only date to their own, they only date at their own level of self-worth. So she answered the $1 million question. Why are you dating these dudes that don't have no job? Son, I ain't got no job. I got this little big-headed boy that's running in and out of the house all day. You don't know how to stay still. Don't no man want to deal with that. Look what you just did. You just beat up Joe. What man is going to want to deal with me when I ain't got no job? We live in the hood, and I got you. And I was like, wow. So in her mind, whether it's true or not, because she never tried, she felt like an upstanding dude who either don't have no kids or has his life great, beautiful life, or live in a big old house or whatever, not in the hood, would never date a woman that lives in the hood that has this little boy that's running around stealing, because I used to steal Transformers and so she knew I was a little thief. I was running around stealing toys and I used to have my own Christmas stuff. She'll buy me for Christmas and not realize I already got the and she'll catch me stealing. You gotta take it back. Oh, okay, take it back. Okay. Hey, please. I ain't taking nothing back. So she was already seeing that I was a little unruly. Who's gonna date me? I'm in a hood. I'm broke. I'm on welfare. And I got this little big-headed little boy that run around doing all kinds of stuff. So the only man that would date her in her mind was the bums. So as I grew up, I had a very good understanding of women. And that's what made me want to become a coach. Because to a certain degree, because me and my mom were so close, we had so many conversations that was just like that, where I was able to really have a great understanding of the woman's psyche. So I would say that's my origin story in a nutshell.
So for those who are watching right now, what part of was it Atlanta you grew up in? What part of Atlanta?
Southwest Atlanta.
Southwest.
Carver
Swats.
Homes.
Is that what they call it?
Nobody calls it SWATs.
No?
Southwest Atlanta.
That's just people outside.
No,
calling it.
don't nobody call it SWATs. Please don't say that. Don't say ATL and don't say SWATs.
I don't say ATL. I
Please
definitely
never
don't
say I'm from the ATL. No, and don't say SWATs.
Yeah. Okay, we got that because I heard somebody say SWATs or whatever. Anyway, yeah. So that was the origin story. Obviously, life changed at 13 years old. What type of kid were you in high school?
I was quiet, mainly because I was going through so much shit at home. Because even though nothing happened to me, it really hurt when I would see my mom get beat on and stuff. But yeah, as a kid, I wasn't present. Because it's like I had so many adult issues. I wasn't really thinking about anything in school. And then on top of that, something that's very interesting, the dichotomy of that is I thought I was having a lot of issues, but it was just me and my mom. The average black boy, black girl, their lives were terrible because you got a family full of these screwed up women.
Right.
You got a big mama, you got your auntie, you got a sibling. Everybody's stupid. So it's like in school, the reason why I didn't see them or hear them, it was half because I was dealing with all these adult things, but the other half was everybody's an idiot. And I'm like, I'm from Philly, and you already know, up north people easily think they smarter than down south people.
Facts.
The other side was why is you niggas so angry? Y'all dumb and angry. Niggas be wanting to fight. What are we fighting? Why? Because even though I had stuff going on at home, my mom loved me. My mom gave me the autonomy to do whatever I wanted to do. I went outside when I wanted to. I ain't got abused or none of that stuff. So once I started realizing, my friends, like I told you, one of my friends, his mom was selling. It was crazy. So it's like my other kids had so many issues that I didn't have, but I had my own issues. Right. We just didn't mesh. And it was like, I did not want to. How kids want to fit in, just like I said with Whole Plies and all that with other rappers. I never wanted to fit in. Mm-hmm. I wanted to leave the hood. I sold dope specifically so I can get the hell away from all these dumb ass people. Because in my mind, there was no social media. I want to live out where the white folks live at. Not because I want to be white. I just don't want to be around these dumb people no more. My teachers was dumb. My siblings, well, not siblings, my friends was dumb. Because niggas was dumb. I was dumb too. I was stupid. They was dumb. Pull that. They was snorting powder. They was, drinking. I was drinking a little bit, but I was just like, I would actually, because I'm selling dope, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is stupid. We in the back of the whatever, just drinking and shit. And it was one time police ran up on us. And it was an OG that kind of taught her. He used to take us through drills on how to get away from the police. Yeah. You take your bomb out, boom, throw it. A bomb is a bag of dope that's tight where you can take it, and it's colorful. So it's in a colored bag. So when you throw it in the greenery, you can see it's a red bag, right? Mm-hmm. So you throw it, and then he taught us how to jump fences real quick, boom, boom. So he was teaching me all this shit, how to get away from the police. But then I'm like, we sitting around drinking, and these niggas snorting powder and shit. I'm like, how are we gonna get away from the police if we drunk? So it was one time that it was something called the Red Dogs in Atlanta. The Red Dogs ran up. It was a normal thing. Not with us, it was a normal thing that happened. Red Dogs just pull up in a van, and it was young niggas, like 22-year-old niggas as fit as us, and they can chase us and shit. And they jumped out, and we out there drinking. They out there drinking, and I ain't drinking. Next thing, boom, Red Dog, we gone.
What are they? Are they robbing you or what?
Oh no, police.
Oh, it's police.
It was a task force.
Okay, got you.
It was a bootleg task force that was put together to beat up drug dealers to make us not want to sell drugs. So they did not arrest us. Yeah. They would just beat us up and say, stop doing drugs. Yeah. That's literally their job. They didn't arrest nobody. They would just beat the shit out of little kids and leave. And hopefully I heard that they was running around beating up people. Right. And that's why we was doing the drills. Yeah. So since I was the only one not drinking, I was the only one that got away. They got the beat out of them. So I'm like, so I come back like, see, why y'all drinking? And we got dope on us. We trying to make some money. Yeah. What are you talking about? I'm like, see, these niggas is dumb. So I just never really meshed with my own neighborhood the way other people could. Because one is just me and my mama. So it ain't like I got cousins, I got aunties, I got grandmas, I got all these people that are like galvanized in the hood. No, it's just me. And my mom ain't even from here. Mm-hmm. My mom from Philly. So it's like, we're not from here. So we're not necessarily galvanized and connected to this place we're at. So I'm busting my ass trying to get out of here. So I'm selling dope to leave the hood, not to be accepted by all these dumb niggas. So I never had the need to be accepted by anybody. Because I always, as a kid, I felt like everybody in my environment, including my mama, just dumb as hell. Everybody just doing dumb, idiotic shit. Mom running around getting her ass whooped. She ain't got no job. These niggas over here snorting powder, drinking, getting beat up. We supposed to be selling dope, but you have no business acumen.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to remember, I was programmed by my father. These niggas is programmed by their mothers.
Mm-hmm.
They just doing. There's no system to it. My dad taught me system in everything I do. So I'm like, I'm not finna be drinking if I'm selling dope. I'm not finna be doing this if I'm doing that. Growing up, I always had this feeling of, I want to get away from all you and just move away. And guess what? At the age of 17, I had a car, I had the rims, I had the paint job, I had the music in the trunk, I had the bitches, I had the Jordans, I had the clothes, I had everything I needed. But guess what? I didn't stay. I got my ass up out of the hood. Because here's the thing. I used to see niggas ride through the hood with BMWs and shit. And I knew the dudes. You know, so back in the hood, the drug dealers would always pull up just to show off in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So they'll pull up at the sandwich shop, just pull up, music playing and everybody, you know, just talk to them.
Celebrities.
Right, little local celebrity type shit. So I was like, hey, dude named John. Yo, John, why you still in the hood and you got all this money? He's like, go on, little nigga, get out of here. And I was like, what? What'd I say? what? I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. So by the time I got all that stuff, I didn't have the BMW. I had the nice Cadillacs and old school cars and shit, with paint jobs and all that. I'm like, I'm not finna be still in the hood and I got all this stuff and I got a little money.
Yeah. I
got rims. My shit was clean as. I'm like, are you crazy? We out. I was happy to find dudes that thought like me. As you get older, you finally find your flock, right? So one of my homeboys was a kingpin. He had 6 cars. He got a house on one part of the city. My other homeboy, we all was selling dope. We weren't selling dope together. Right. We were selling dope separately, but we with each other. And to a certain degree, we were mentally above the dudes that we were selling dope with. So it's like it didn't make sense for us to sell dope together. We was just doing what we was doing. He had his, my other homeboy had his. We was like, yo, let's go buy houses. Yeah, let's do that. I got a house out in one suburb. My other homeboy got a house in another suburb. My other homeboy got a house in another suburb. Then we got chicks. We married our chicks.
You married y'all chicks?
Yeah, we married our chicks.
So you bought a house as a dope boy?
Yeah. I rented a house because I couldn't.
Oh, you rented it. Okay.
I didn't know how to buy it. My homeboy bought it. He was a kingpin, but he put it in his family name.
Right.
I ain't got no family. So I tried to buy it, but I didn't. It was dope money. So I rented a house or whatever, but they bought their house or something. I couldn't buy it, but I had the money to buy it. But started my family.
And this was at what age?
Huh?
This was at what age?
18.
Okay, I thought you was about to say 17. Well,
17.
You sound like me. I got married at 19.
I got married probably like, I don't know, at 20, 22, something like 20, something like that. But I left the hood. I tried to leave the hood the first time, me and this chick that was also in the hood, and we got an apartment together, and that didn't work out. No, I was cheating on her, shit like that. I cheated on her with her neighbor. It was bad. Just around Freaknik times.
Yeah. You're still a teenager.
Yeah, I'm out all night. I come home 7 o'clock in the morning. We don't smash 3 chicks. It was crazy. So, of course, that didn't work out. But I actually did. So I moved back home with my mom. But after that was when we got our houses. A little couple years later.
Right.
Yeah. And we started our families, our prospective families that way. Yeah.
What made you get married? Was it the lack of not having that family dynamic, which made you want to get married, even though you had the women and all this stuff going on?
No, it was just like we was just, I don't know, we was just grown. It was just like, yo, this is what grown niggas
Just the
do.
thing to do.
You know, it was like, it was literally the thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really that too, I would say, but the fact that all three of us got with bad chicks
Mm-hmm.
and had kids and got married, all at got houses all at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't say that it was I didn't have this, I didn't have that.
Right.
No, just go get you a bad and start your family.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to start a family.
Yeah.
Because I got money. Like, why not start a family?
Mm-hmm.
Because we used to sleep with almost every chick. It was a club called the Gentleman's Club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't get close to it, but my King Ben, he's dead now. My King Ben homeboy, he slept with every stripper. Do you realize how hard it is to sleep with every stripper in a club?
I don't know nothing about that. Tell
Like
me.
30 strippers in the club. He slept with all 30 of them.
What do you mean you didn't get close to it? What do you mean by that?
I probably smashed like 5.
Oh,
Something
you
like that.
didn't get close to all of
I didn't get close to it. Like, we was like, who can sleep with every chick in the club?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm not doing all that. But yeah, we used to go to like players balls and shit. We got Versace clothes on and gator boots and all this other shit. Yeah, it was cool. But at an early age, I'm not gonna lie, it just got stupid still.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm still trying to get away from this dumb, ignorant stuff. So even because the thing about it is the strip clubs was still hood.
Mm-hmm.
The players balls was like in the hood.
Mm.
You know about Cleveland Avenue because everybody know about Young Thug. Young Thug
Right.
made Cleveland Avenue. We over there around Cleveland Avenue and shit. It's like disgusting over there. So we got money, but we still hanging out with these bums.
Mm.
I'm like, nah, man. So I just grew up because I was like, it was like, I can't be around dumb people.
Mm.
I went and find me a woman, and then we just went off in the sunset.
So did you leave the dope game after you got married, or what happened?
Yeah, I actually went and got 2 jobs
Okay.
because my Kingpin friend, he still was selling dope.
Right.
And he kept making fun of me because I ain't had no money no more. Not money to blow.
Yeah.
I got money I got to take care of my family. And he had his family in the suburbs, but he still went back to the hood because he was still doing his thing. He had a trap house. We used to just sit around, play Madden, and just bag up crack.
Yeah.
And he literally had fake cereal boxes, fake Bibles, fake salt shakers. Everything in the cupboard was fake. He used to have a fake armoire where he kept money in the back of the armoire. And we just literally would just count money. We just sit on the bed, just count money. Because you can't really count a lot of money around other people because at some point somebody gonna say something, somebody gonna cough, somebody gonna drop something, and then you literally gonna lose your count.
Yeah.
So we used to literally count money in separate rooms so you won't lose your count because there was no phones, no like that. And we didn't have no calculator. It was just
Didn't have no money counter either.
Yeah, we didn't have no money counter. So the thing about it is, I'm blessed to been programmed by my dad, and he like kept me with a different mindset as my peers. 2, I met my best friends to this day. One is dead, and we had a different mindset. So we're focused on getting money, and we all wanted to leave the hood, and we all wanted to just get women and have kids and all that shit early. Because a lot of dudes, because we'll come back to the hood in our nice cars and shit, man, dudes be selling pens and shit, ink pens, because they don't crack.
Yeah.
Because if you stay in the hood long enough, the hood is going to swallow you up.
Mm-hmm.
So even when all the dudes was running around fighting and shit, I'm like, yo, what is y'all doing? Why is you niggas so angry? I'm like, I'm not y'all. I'm trying to get this money. I've never been the tough guy. I'm finna fight you, this and that. I've got in fights, but at the end of the day, it wasn't too many fights where I was so angry I wanted to fight somebody.
Yeah.
It'd be somebody angry because they wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
Because of how I was thinking or operating or whatever. Or I ain't gonna say I took somebody's girl because I wasn't like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I'm just doing my own thing. And other dudes would get mad that you don't want to be with us.
Mhm.
Oh, you think you better than us. And it was their point, oh, you think you better than us type. And I'm like, I am. Nigga, I don't got jumped on and shit. And I'm like, these niggas are like, I'm never, ever going to have your level of anger
Yeah.
and resentment. And I don't want it. Because the thing about the hood, the reason why it was two groups of people, the tough dudes, the dudes that's beating up on everybody and run around, they want to fight everywhere they go. They take their shirt off in the middle of the club. It's because they getting beat on at home. I wasn't getting beat on at home. And then as just this young drug dealer, I had little trinkets to make me feel validated for myself. When I bought my first car for $800 at the auction, I was so smart. I was smarter than the grown men buying the cars at the auction. I bought a nice old school car, of course, for $800 because I knew that everybody else was looking at these cars. So I went up under the hood and I pulled the spark plugs out. Spark plug, the wire. Because back in the day, spark plugs are sit out of the engine like this.
Yeah.
And there's a wire that just sits on the, all you gotta do is a boop. So I went on the hood, just boop, 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 and then just left the car there. Next thing you know, oh, I ain't bidding on this one. I got the fucking car for $800.
Yeah.
I was smarter than adults. My ex-girl, he taught me how to work on cars. Like I had my car, and he was like, no, I'm not gonna work on your car because he worked at a shop. He'll lift the car up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Change the oil. Fix spark plugs. Change the alternator. And then he would just be there. So he was just kind of like my dad. I'm not doing nothing for you. You do it. So I always had like males, whether it's my peers, the smart ones, not the dumb ones, or either OGs or either father figures or my own father that were like, yo, do it yourself. Go ahead. I'm watching you. Do. So I always had men around me that I never had nobody hold my hand. I had to go out and get it. And even my mom, even though she didn't really teach me a lot of stuff as far as a man, she let me go outside. I go outside every day and I would come home around 7, 8 o'clock. Street lights come on, whatever. And then that's it. She never knew where I was, never asked. So my whole life was autonomy and manhood, testosterone, fighting, but smart fighting and not dumb fighting. And I did illegal, but I did not want to go to jail, none of the other shit, so I let it go at an early age. But it all, in my opinion, came from the strategic thinking of being raised by my father when I was a child before I became a teen.
I got you. So I got a question I'm gonna ask you about your father here because I know you did a video one time. I think you went back to Philly or something and you was looking for him or something like that.
Yeah.
So what was the situation with that?
So this was when I first got into the motivational speaking world because it wasn't just YouTuber. It was, you're going to be a motivational speaker and you're going to get on stages and motivate people. One of my first mentors was, damn, I gotta give me a second. I
No,
got
you good.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was around people that was making money speaking. So I would go out with them as they would speak in different cities or whatever. So one of my mentors had a conference, right? So I went out there too just to learn something. And I wanted to get an Airbnb away from them. This was like when Airbnb first came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this Airbnb stuff? I was like, I want to get an Airbnb. They got a hotel. And the reason why I wanted to get away from them was because this was Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just walk. I want to just walk around because I don't know nobody. I ain't seen my dad in years.
Mm.
I ain't seen nobody in my family from years. So I was just like, I just want to walk around. I just want to smell the environment. And I did that. And I instantly triggered myself. And I just pulled out my phone and I was like, yo, if you're a father, because at this point I was a father.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a father, you need to go see your child. I don't care how far he is or how far she is, you need to go see your child. And it went viral.
What year was this? This is like you said around Airbnb just came out.
2013.
2013. Okay, so this is a while ago. Okay.
Yeah, 2014 or something like that. And I was just on Instagram. I didn't even know about YouTube. I thought YouTube was for like how to fix a car, how to change oil type. I didn't even know it was black dudes on YouTube, just talking to. We'll just travel the country and I get opportunities to speak. I get paid every now and then to get speaking gigs or whatever by just being around these people. And shout out to Kendall Ficklin. Shout out to David Shands, Sleep with Suckers.
David Shan. Yeah,
He's
shout out
on Social Proof. He was a mentor. And damn, what is his name? The dude who be hollering. The motivate.
Eric Thomas?
Thank
Yeah.
Eric Thomas.
E.T.? Yeah,
E.T.
E.T., yeah, E.T.
Eric Thomas was a mentor, and he was bigger than all of us. So we used to just go to different places or whatever. But yeah, I got triggered in Philly mainly because I kind of didn't know that my father no longer being in my life was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that situation, I started going to therapy because I was like, all right, why am I acting like this? I had to cut the phone off because I started crying when I was walking. And I was like, damn, I got to deal with some stuff. So that's when I started realizing how important therapy was. And then once I started going to therapy and seeing how impactful therapy was, that's when I got into coaching and not just motivational speaking. Because I started looking at the motivational speakers. Is you niggas really helping people? Or y'all just motivating people? Rah, rah, rah. Oh, you could do it.
Pep rally.
Because it wasn't a lot of systems. Remember, my dad taught me you got to have a system in everything you do. So I started being like, all right, all this motivational speaking can make people money, but I don't see the system. And I don't believe in just standing in front of people with a whole bunch of empty words. So then I got in the direction of coaching, and mainly women. Because one, nobody was coaching women. And two, I thought women were somewhat victims of men. I didn't just look at women as problematic because I had daughters. I was married. This was after I was married. So I had somewhat of a background of I've been married. I've been through some stuff. So I can teach people who haven't been married how to find a wife, how to do this, how to be a good parent. Yeah, and I just gravitated towards coaching women in particular, mainly because of I had a point of view that a lot of dudes didn't have,
Yeah.
and I can share it with the women. A lot of women didn't understand men. A lot of men didn't understand women, but I was able to understand so many different aspects of how women operate. So I was like, I want to coach women.
So backtracking, how did you get into the motivational speaking? Like, how did you get discovered doing that? How did
Oh
that come about?
man, Kendall Ficklin. I was just doing my thing on social media, right, on Instagram,
Okay.
and then he hit me up. He's like, "You ready to go to the next level?"
Did you know him? Okay.
And I was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "I'm a coach,"
Right.
and he's one who got me into how to coach.
Right.
I wanted to be a coach, but I didn't know how. Right, and he was coaching me because I would tell anybody watching, go pay for a coach. Like you don't know everything. All these little YouTube dudes, like the reason why y'all are corny is because y'all have never been coached by anybody. Y'all just see somebody else on social media and you think you can do it. I'm a systems person. So I was coached by him. I paid him to coach me, and he was in a coaching group. That's how I learned coaching groups, right? And I learned, so in the coaching group, I was spending half the time learning from him, but I was spending half the time learning how everybody operated and how he operate with them. You know, how you like put together a Zoom call. How do you mute people? How mute people? Everybody want to talk. Everyone, hey. How do you have order over 50, 70 people on a Zoom call? So I'm sitting back and just learning, just soaking up all the game that he was offering. And Kendall Ficklin, he was the left-hand man, not the right-hand man, the left-hand man to who you just said?
E.T.?
E.T. Yeah, Eric Thomas. Shout out to E.T., Eric Thomas. Sorry for forgetting your name. So he was the left-hand man of Eric Thomas. So he was speaking and where Eric Thomas was speaking. And that's when I kind of, met Eric Thomas. So that's what got me into speaking. And then I met David Shands, and because he was speaking with Eric Thomas also.
Right.
So it became this clique of people at different levels. Eric Thomas, then Kendall Ficklin, and then David Shands, and then other dudes, and then me, and we just started clicking up.
So there's a light-skinned cat, because I was at the conference back in July where,
That's a right hand man.
huh?
That's Eric Thomas' right hand man.
What's his name?
I forgot his name.
Yeah. He's like, people sit down with him and he unlocks their potential and stuff like that. So he was talking about, okay, I'll just make sure. I forgot his name, but
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
forgot his name.
Yeah.
See, I ain't seen Eric Thomas in so long, so it just slipped my mind. So yeah.
So what were you doing on Instagram though? Like before he reached out to you, what were you specifically doing on your page?
I was doing contextual motivational stuff. As an example, I would get in front of the camera. I'll be outside, mosquitoes, and just all kinds of trying to be different. I would be outside and I say, "Do you know life is just like football? Do you realize that football is literally a series of failures? First down, you hand it off to the run back. Boom. He don't make it to the end zone. He falls. But he gets up and he's throw a pass. The wide receiver catch the ball, but he gets tackled. He gets up. They happy that they didn't make it in the end zone.
Yeah.
But the reason why they're happy is because they progressed.
Happiness is progression.
So happiness is about progression and not getting in the end zone. So as long as you're progressing in life, that is where happiness comes from. It ain't a woman, it ain't no dude, it ain't all this other stuff. It ain't even money. It's progression. If you go work out and you lose some weight, that's something to be happy about. So I would do videos about that. So I would find different contextual scenarios and I would say, you know what? I was thinking, and I was doing stuff like that, but I wasn't coaching.
Got you.
Yeah. So I had OGs around all my life.
Right.
Some OGs was younger than me, but they were OGs in content worlds and yeah.
In that sphere. So back to Philly though. So you said you went live or whatever, or you did this video.
Mm-hmm.
Were you trying to see your father, or he didn't want to see you, or what was the situation?
I didn't know, like, social media was new, or to me, I would say. I didn't really understand Instagram. Instagram used to be like, take a picture of your food, take a
Right,
picture
yeah.
of a can, a Coke can, all
Yeah.
kind of dumb. So I didn't really understand social media. I thought social media was stupid. I'm a quick person, like, oh, yeah, that's stupid. I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
So I didn't really look at social media as a way to reach out to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I thought social media was just you go live, you talk to people, and you find a way to market to them and get them to be a part of your coaching group or something, get gigs. I didn't think about, ooh, I can reach out to my father. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I could have reached out to family probably a long time ago, but and then at the same time, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was always me and my mom. I've always been that pliers type of person. I don't need none of you.
Yeah.
Y'all can be around or whatever, but I'm not finna just be reaching out to people. Come be around me. I don't need validation from nobody, and I don't need nobody to be a part of my life unless they want to be a part of my life. So in my mind, I'm like, if that nigga out there, why he ain't look for me? I'm the kid.
Yeah.
Why I gotta look for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just always been that dude, like, these niggas.
I hear you, man. So you get into coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you get into YouTube?
I was, like I said, I thought YouTube was just how to fix a sink type.
Yeah.
And I was big on Instagram. And I made a lot of money on Instagram. And my Instagram page got deleted.
Mm-hmm.
And my Instagram page got deleted because I started going hard on women. Well, this was like before Kevin Samuels, even thought about it. But I was going hard on women, and next thing, people was like, you're this, you're that, whatever. And my Instagram got deleted. And I made a lot of money on Instagram, mainly because, like, back in the day, you had a course. So if you're an influencer and you had a course, people bought your course.
Right.
People joined your coaching program because it was like only a certain. Remember, I was always ahead of the game, but I was behind on social media. So only like Derek Jackson, certain people like that would be like, join my coaching group, buy this, buy that. And I'm in that world. So I'm making money by selling my how to let go type of course. And my course wasn't no $5,000 like all these other people.
Yeah.
It'd be like $60 like that. And then my coaching group would be like $75. So I was doing different things like that. And also I wrote a book and I was driving for Uber, and because I learned how people put a kiosk in the mall. One of my mentors, David Shands, he had a t-shirt line and he would sell his t-shirts in the mall. And I was just like, how much you got to pay a month? He was like, $2,000 or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to drive for Uber and sell my books in the Uber.
Okay.
Instead of paying to be in a kiosk where people don't even want to buy your
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a captive audience. So I started selling my books, and I didn't make no money selling my books. I only made money off of Uber, just in case the IRS is watching.
Yeah.
But I didn't make a lot of money selling my books while I was driving for Uber. Yeah, I was doing my thing. I didn't make no money
Got you, man.
selling my books to the IRS. I didn't make no money. But yeah.
Where did the name Mr. LetGo came from? How did that come about?
All right. Great question. That's a great question. I was Aaron Mallory, right? And everybody started looking at me like I was a dating coach. I wasn't a dating coach. My motto was, I don't give a damn about you finding no man or no woman. I'm here to help you find yourself. You being with that man or a woman is part of your coping mechanism. So if I'm anybody, I'm here to break you up and not help you find a man. So don't come to me if you want to find a man. Come to me when you tired of your man or tired of this woman and you trying to figure out why. Because I'm about childhood trauma, coping mechanisms, things like that. What made me choose this person? Going back to my mom literally was able to explain to me and articulate to me why she was dating bums. Because in her mind, she thought she was a bum.
Mm-hmm.
So you only date at your own level of self-worth. So a lot of people in these toxic relationships, they're with the toxic person because they ass is toxic.
Yep.
So I'm trying to break people up. But people kept looking at me like I'm a dating coach. And I'm like, I need to come up with a name. And I help people let go of their childhood trauma. And I had a course called How to Let Go of Your Childhood Trauma. And I was like, Mr. Let Go. And another thing, my name was too long, pause, because I would tag my name up under my videos.
Yeah.
How you shorten something, make it longer, whatever. And it was Aaron _ Mallory. It was just the underscore made it even longer.
Yeah.
And the just looked stupid under my videos. Mr. Let Go was MRLETGO. And then at the same time, I was on stage one time. This is what happened. I was on stage one time, and you always got to get people to follow you before you go off stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, everybody pull out your phones. Follow me on Instagram, Aaron Mallory. And everybody like, how you spell that? AARONMALLO. They like, how many A's? And I was just, all right, this is annoying.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to find a easy name that's palatable. Mr. Let Go, MRLETGO. So my first Instagram page was Mr. _ Let Go. Then it got deleted. So that's how I became Mr. Let Go. I wanted a more marketable, more understandable, business-wise name. Mr. Let Go. Oh, he must help people let go of something. Contextually sound.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know. So we're gonna pivot into this whole red pill phenomenon, right?
Mm-hmm. Pill cornballs.
Yeah.
Shout out to the red pill cornballs.
I know you critical of it, and I'm pretty critical of it myself. I call them the He-Man woman haters.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's what I call them, even though people have classified me under that umbrella, but I'm not with that. It's almost cult-like of having the same thought process. And I know I watched your live yesterday.
And before you get that, that's kind of like how I always been. I don't want to be one of you. I don't want to be a part of no gang. I don't want to be a red pill dude. So, because dudes used to be like, yo, you be talking about the same stuff. It would be like red pill guys that they would interview me or whatever. And they were like, why do you not like red pill people or whatever? I'm like, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that I feel like it's important to me to separate myself from y'all because I'm going to say this. Before I got on YouTube, I was also on Clubhouse.
Okay.
You remember when Clubhouse blew up?
I only heard of Clubhouse. I thought it only blew up, I thought it only came about 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It blew up, right? And people would just say, "You hate women. You like these red pill people." And I used to be like, "What the f are they talking about?"
Yeah,
because I didn't know about the YouTubers. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. So I would always hear people try to tell me I'm like these little incel red pill people. So I first heard about this red pill stuff in a negative light because the rest of the world, because I wasn't even on YouTube, the rest of the world, male and female, thought this red pill stuff was a whole bunch of incels and weirdos.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know what it was. So somebody like, oh, you're one of them. You're one of them. I didn't know who them was. And then I'm just doing my thing or whatever. And then I actually did, David Shands had a podcast. When he first started his podcast, Social Proof, he was like, yo, Aaron, you need to do a podcast too. And he had a podcast room. He was like, just do it in here. I was like, So I got a couple friends, and then we did a podcast, and it was like 6 of us or whatever. And then next thing, it ended up being 4 of us. Then 3 of us. 'Cause people just don't want to.
Consistent.
Yeah. So I was just like, all right, this is stupid. I'm always thinking I'm stupid. I'm like, this is dumb. And then it was me and a woman, and then shout out to Safari, and we was just doing it, and it was cool. And then she was just like, yo, I don't want to do this no more either. I was just like, all right. Because it wasn't them. It was me wanting to do it, and I just got a bunch of people. So I'm not mad at them. I was just like, Dave was doing his thing by himself too. He was like, just do it by yourself. Yeah. So next thing you know, the girl that was doing the podcast with me said, check this dude out. It was Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
Check him out. And I seen him by himself. And I was like, ooh, I like the desk. I wasn't really worrying about what he was saying.
Yeah.
I was looking at his setup. I was like, ooh. Instead of the normal podcast room with the mics and everybody's together, and it was just this little room, he was doing it in his house. I was like, ooh, I could do that. So he gave me the idea to stop all this production studio mess and then just do it in your house.
Yeah.
And then YouTube. And I was like, what is this YouTube stuff? So I set up some stuff, and I got on YouTube. I ain't get no views. And I was just doing my thing by myself, like always. I just did that podcast one time because Dave pushed me to do it, but I always did things by myself. And then, boom, I slowly started blowing up. I actually first got on YouTube, and I was collaborating with females. Tanya TKO. I was,
okay.
And then she literally turned on me. And I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
Because that was when I realized how disgusting and toxic YouTube was.
Yeah.
Because YouTube is still, to this day, literally, if you're a woman, you got to talk about men.
Yeah.
If you're a man, you got to talk about women. And I'm on here. So one time, she was on a live with a girl called Pink Pill. I don't know nothing right now. I don't know nothing. I knew Tanya TKO before YouTube, and she was on YouTube, and she used to get a lot of views on Facebook. I got on, I did a couple lives with her. Then all of a sudden, she did a live with Pink Pill, and Pink Pill pulled me up. It was like, why are you doing a video with this dude?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's happening? She was like, I don't know. He is just this, he's one of these red pill people. And I'm like, I'm one of these what? I'm like, there goes that word again.
Yeah.
What the hell is this red pill shit? This was before I met anybody on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell is happening. And why is this woman dogging me? So next thing I call her up. And she literally said, I can't be your friend no more.
Wow.
We're not friends.
Yeah.
But what does this mean? What? I can't, Aaron. And she just hung up on me.
Just hung up on you.
And I was like, what the hell is happening? And then this little Cynthia G person, then she did it. So because when I did the video with her, with Tanya TKO, everybody started doing response videos because I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, and she did something she wasn't supposed to do. Women and men don't supposed to do content together.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? So everybody just started, oh, who is this Mr. LetGo dude? Oh, he's a simp.
Yeah.
The women was like, who is this man? He's a narcissist. What the is happening? I got off YouTube for a while. I was just like, yo, I don't know what the hell is going on. So I literally just started doing pre-recorded videos, and I was just like, how to let go of childhood trauma. And then at some point, I went back to the response video stuff or whatever, and that's kind of like how I got on YouTube. But YouTube is as toxic as it was when I first got on there, and it's still the same old mess. But one thing I tend to always want to do, if you see me on a panel or if you see me doing a video, you most likely going to see a woman next to me and not no damn nigga. Or if I'm on a panel, it has to be women on the panel. I'm not doing no panel full of a bunch of loser dudes sitting around whining about women, because I'm not like them. Like I said, all my life, I made it a point, drawing a line in the sand. I am not like you niggas. Whether it was in school, whether it was in the hood, whether it's on social media. I draw a line in the sand. I'm sorry, but I'm not like y'all. That's always been important to me.
That resonates with me, man, because I'm the same way. And I want to bring up a conversation, two things actually, based off everything you just said just now. I did a consultation with you probably about maybe 2 years ago, year and a half
Yeah, I
ago,
remember.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And I was just trying to figure out like how to grow my channel or whatever. And everything you just described was the names that was being called. I was being called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Simp, you caping for these hoes, you you not red, and I never,
You not red
yeah, I'm
pill.
not red pill, and
Yeah. I had a coach for the audience. I had a coaching group and I was helping people learn how to grow on social media. Because when I got on YouTube, I blew the up. Mainly because I already had a name on TikTok. Wasn't really nothing back then. So I already had a name on Clubhouse. I already had a name on Instagram. And I already had a name on Facebook. So I easily blew up on YouTube. So I had a coaching group, or I was coaching people doing one-on-ones on how to grow on social media. But go ahead.
yeah, and they were saying the same things that they were saying to you.
Yeah.
And I remember asking you. I think I asked you. Well, I was explaining to you where I was at on YouTube, and I'm like, yo, I'm kind of like even keel. I'm not like extreme on this side or extreme on this side. I'm just a dude that's got an opinion,
Yeah.
and I give my opinion on these topics or whatever. And I think I remember your response was you said nobody likes even keel. You have to be an extremist to a certain extent. Nobody wants to watch safe. I think you. I don't know if you
Yeah.
said safe, but nobody likes safe. They don't like, and that's one of the things that it's like they. And Kevin even said this before he died. Rest in peace. He was like, a lot of these guys want to see a bloodbath. And on the flip side of it, another conversation we had, which I was explaining to you, I had interviewed that chick, the Queen Maker, and you had hit me up
Yeah.
and you was like, yo, this dude's doing a response to
Yeah.
you. Yo, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I explained to you, I'm like, first of all, I don't debate people. And I know you talked about this on your live.
Yeah.
I don't debate people because that's not my style. I'm not saying I've always been good with women, but there's no need for me to debate with a woman. I'm not going to invite a woman on my podcast
debate her.
to debate her because to me that's corny. So everything you were saying, I'm like, that's me. Even O'Shea, when O'Shea, and we're going to get into, you know, boy, O'Shea said that. O'Shea's, yo, that's some weak man stuff. And
It's weak
I totally
stuff.
believe it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the guy that we're going to discuss here in a few. But I don't get down like that. I like to have a cordial conversation with a woman, figure out why she thinks the way that she thinks, things like that. With that whole thing with the Queen Maker, whatever her name was, they wanted to see bloodbath.
Yeah.
And the women were talking about me saying, I bet he's got a little dick. Like the women in the comments, I bet he's got a little dick on her side.
Yeah.
Because obviously she speaks to the point of the feminists in terms of women don't need men and all these things like that. So I'm just like, you got two people on a live stream. You got these extremists on this side, these extremists on this side, and you have two people having a conversation. We're
And
not
you was
debating.
catching hell because you was in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me and her, like the conversation, and I talked to her offline and everything, and I explained it to you. I said, that'll never be my style in terms of that. I realized that there's an extremist group of these guys, and obviously the women too, but these guys, these red pill guys, the incel guys, who it's even to the point now where they say approaching a woman is simping. Which I've never thought I would see that in my life. When it comes down to approaching a woman, a man shouldn't approach a woman, things like that. So
Can I say something to that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask. And that's why I'm gonna ask your opinion on this overall. Where do you think that this is coming from in terms of these guys becoming like this?
Fatherless men. See, the main reason why a lot of these red pill dudes are the way they are is because of how they grew up. And there's a lot of aspects to it. Like I said, I was outside every day. But even though I was raised by a single mother, like I said, I was programmed by my father.
Mm-hmm.
And he always taught me, if it's something that you want, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
So I always walked up to women.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up to women that was older than me. They were like, "You look too young." It was a point I ain't have no hair on my face, no mustache when you young,
Mm-hmm.
before your hair started. And it made me better. And then I'm a salesman. So it's like when it comes to selling products, it's the same way about getting with a woman.
There you go.
It's going to be a bunch of no's, but that's cool. Like, all right, if you don't want to buy my product, do you want to buy this product?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to women, like a lot of these incels, all they want to do is sit around on YouTube and whine about women all day. And they get a lot of views because there's other dudes sitting in the house watching them whine about women on YouTube. So while outside, or was outside when I was young, because I'm still outside now, they spent all their lives in the house.
Yeah.
So these incels that are on YouTube, they spent their teens and their early 20s in the house, just scrolling, looking at girls. And like I said, I got married not because I had to. I had women like a mob.
Mm-hmm.
We was running through strippers. I remember my homeboys, we all used to rag on each other. It was almost we would take turns ragging on each other. I'm home with my girl, playing with my baby, and they'd be like, "Yo, come outside." "Man, I'm at home, man." "You can't come outside. She won't let you outside." We always had women, whether it's your girl or whether it's women down the street. And I'm not gonna say I was lit, because I wasn't lit. I was just lit in my own way. I used to pull chicks. You know how dudes go to the mall?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gotta go to the mall because I'm 16 with a car. And I got rims. And let me tell y'all something. Me and my homeboys were so lit. We all got paint jobs at the same time. We've all got houses at the same time, got women at the same time, or got our girls at the same time, had our kids at the same time, moved out the hood at the same time. And the thing about it is, we got paint jobs at the same time. So my car had white with blue pearl. My other homeboy had white with red pearl. And my other homeboy had white with green pearl, which means depending on how you walk past my car, it turns blue, even though it's white. Depending on how the paint was. So and I had blue interior. My other homeboy had green interior with green pearl, and my other homeboy had red interior. So I had a Cutlass. Other guy had a Cadillac, and my other homeboy had an Impala, and he had hydraulics. So we would just ride down the street, blasting our music, ride down the street, ride back up the same street. Hood rats done came outside looking to see who that was that don't roll down the street. And all I got to do is look out the window and be like, "Come here." And her little hood rat ass will come out with her little house shoes on, with those shorts on. Like, "What's up? You got a boyfriend?" "No, I ain't got no boyfriend." "Of course she ain't got no boyfriend, because look what I'm driving."
Yeah.
"Shit, when can I come see you?" You come see me. Next thing you know, I'm smashing her 3 days later.
Yeah.
All that got old. It was just normal. Like I said, we was in a club sleeping with strippers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've slept with the most beautiful women on the planet as a young person.
Mm-hmm.
And this was somebody that wasn't even going crazy in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I blew up after high school because once I got the acumen because selling drugs, like I said, in the earlier days when you don't know what you were doing, it was violent. Robbing crews.
Mm-hmm.
I got shot at. We were shooting at people.
Mm-hmm.
People shooting at us. It was rivals and stuff. Like, we was fighting over turf. When you got a trap, somebody might want to take over your trap. So it was a whole bunch of crazy shit. So when I was in high school, I wasn't thinking about trying to holler at girls because I'm in the hood, like literally trying to figure out how to get out of the hood.
Yeah.
And it was red dogs, it was robbing crews, it was all kinds of shit going on. But once I got an understanding on how to sell dope, how to market myself, everything got beautiful then. So the thing about it is, a lot of young dudes, the incels that are on YouTube, watching and creating content, they were not out in the streets learning things, getting hit over the head with flashlights by the police, or getting robbed, or getting jumped on, losing, not winning, losing. You got to lose before you win.
Yeah.
So a lot of these incels, they never lost, but they never won either. So when you say middle of the ground, their lives are in the middle ground. They live their lives like girls. Girls, they don't get the best guy, or they don't do a whole bunch of, they're not hoes either. They just be in the house all the time.
Yeah.
You know, the typical woman, they don't go through nothing. They just go to work, come home. These dudes live their whole lives like girls.
Yeah.
They just been in the house, don't get no girl, and they just in the house. And if they get a girl, they happy they got a girl. So my whole thing is, I don't got shot at, all this other stuff. I've had a bullet, like I heard a bullet go past my ear before because I was getting shot at, all kinds of stuff going on. Stole cars, went to jail for grand larceny. I sold rims. I knew the robbing crew. So we'll pull up at the robbing crew house and we'll buy rims and tires, and then we'll take the rims and tires back to our house. And then if somebody in the hood is looking for rims and tires, we'll sell the rims and tires to somebody. So I was always a salesman. So when it came to women, I was always outside. But a lot of dudes on YouTube, they did not have any type of life outside of their house. So even as adults, they in the house like women are. So they in the house whining about women, just like women are in the house whining about men. A lot of these women on TikTok, they be in their cars.
Yeah.
Men they ain't outside. That's your question. It's not an indictment on them. And I'm not saying that they're bad people, the incels or the red pill people. They just haven't experienced life. The freaking cornballs that be like, get your passport. They can't get women in the United States, and they brag because there's nothing wrong going to another country.
Yeah.
But when you get your passport so you can get a woman, it's those guys. And I'm not talking about the guys that live in the other countries, and because they call themselves passport bros, but they live in other countries. I'm talking about the dudes who go to Colombia because they can't get women here. You gotta lose. And a lot of these guys, I think they're afraid to lose, so they go to another country so they can avoid and circumvent getting rejected and losing. I have no problem with a woman saying, "No, I'm not good. I'm not into you."
Yeah.
I would go to the Pop the Balloon show and get rejected and still leave there with one of the bad chicks after all the chicks pop the balloon. I'm okay with pop, but I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So I think a lot of men, it would help them a lot with their psyche about women and about themselves if they were to actually go out in the world and start lose some money. I lost my Instagram page. I had all kinds of losses. Go out in the world and lose, and then figure out a way to get out of that, whether it's rejection or whether it's losing money, and figure out how to dust yourself off and get back to real life. So a lot of these dudes, they live middle ground worlds or either girl worlds, because girls, they don't take risks. So they just be in the house and everything in their lives is just melancholy. They have a little dog and that's their whole life. And I think a lot of men, they live their lives like women. Therefore, they have the same grievances as women. So you got women who ain't been through nothing over here on TikTok, and you got dudes who ain't been through nothing over here on YouTube, and they sitting in their houses. Both of them ain't never did nothing, ain't never been nowhere, ain't never experienced nothing, complaining about the opposite sex simply because they ain't got else to do. This is a business for me.
Yeah. I like that last part, man. I agree with you on that. Because to piggyback on what you said, I feel like with these guys, when they consume this content, it makes them feel better about themselves and their inactivity.
Their inactivity.
You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
that's what I noticed, and it's just because I'm like, I when they started coming at me about this, I'm like, I'm saying some stuff that, yo, a man is about direction, about accomplishing goals, about the mission, about doing these things, and you are supposed to approach women. But when I started hearing this stuff and dudes making response videos about this guy, you don't know what he's talking about and all this stuff, it's crazy to me that men have come to this point and they want to see this type of content, man. So it's crazy, man.
And I'm not mad at them. I just have something to teach them if they would like it. But when they see my stuff, they hate it or get mad at it because I'm not them. Because like I said,
Yeah.
I am the person who is literally going to tell you, me and you are not the same.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for it to be a pecking order in life, especially with manhood. Just like the little red pill dudes, this woman is a hoe, find a good woman. Same thing with men. Some guys are losers.
Yeah.
Some guys are incels. Some guys are cornballs. Some guys are lames. And they're right here. You got to separate yourself from them. So when two people walk in a room, you'll easily be able to tell which dude is which.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you've had a few beefs on the tube, Facebook, things like that. People making response videos about you.
Actually, no. And this is a real
I'm
thing.
saying beefs.
I know I know what you're saying, but the thing about it is I've been in beefs where I almost lost my life. Like I said, getting shot at, stuff like that.
For sure.
That was a beef.
Yeah.
This YouTube stuff, like, it's just YouTube. I don't care nothing about this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a business.
Yeah.
I am a business. None of these niggas are gonna trick me off the streets with some gay beef. Yeah, I don't like you. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that don't like me. Because the thing about it is, when you get to a certain level, you got to get used to people not liking you. No, I don't have no beefs with nobody because these niggas are not on my level. So I can't have beef with somebody that's not on my level. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I was mentioning that because obviously in this social media world as of recently, there's been a content creator who people have been responding to him. He's been exposed for his viewpoints or the contradiction that people are finding in what it is that he says on his podcast to different people, to different ladies, and he's not living that same type of life. And the guy I'm talking about is Cooley from the No Fugazee podcast, who, me personally, I've reacted, I think, to one of his videos in the past and gave commentary on it. And I know that you have done it, and I believe you and him have collabed in the past on a live stream from what you said. And I noticed you had Jeremy on there, which I remember Jeremy talking about the situation last year when it happened or whatever. And I didn't know that he was really doing this to multiple people, where he was conducting himself like that, which is, I don't think is cool to bring somebody on and then you ambush them out of left field.
You got to do what you got to do in order to get your content. And some people do like cornball, slimy stuff to get, they'll be like, hey, I seen you do a response video on me. Because the thing about it is with me, I do response videos with just people, women, whatever. Somebody do some stupid shit. I'm be like, look at this dumb shit. I don't know who the hell the person is. So I didn't know who the hell the Cooley dude was. I just did a response video, and I think he took offense because he stole, or I would say adopted, fresh and fit type of stuff.
Absolutely.
You sit down with a whole bunch of random broads from Tinder
Mm-hmm.
and feed them liquor or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they say dumb. Actually, a real man, you're a single mother, all this stupid whatever. So I seen this and I was like, oh my God. Here goes another one of these cornball red pill
Right.
dudes. And I called him a cornball and I said what he said was just dumb or whatever. And then he politely DM me like, yo, I seen you do a response video. How about you come on my show? And I was like, all right, cool. Content creator, right? Then he got on there, oh, you're I'm like,
This
yo.
is when y'all were already on the live stream. He just started out of left field, just started acting.
Yeah. So it was like a man is supposed to do this, a woman. I'm okay with having a different perspective.
Right.
Because I'm not arguing with no women. I'm not arguing with no dudes. I
Same.
don't care.
Exactly.
And you remember at this time, I don't even know this dude.
Yeah.
I did a response video of some random person. The random person hits me up. And now the random person is trying to debate me.
Yeah.
I don't want to debate. I don't know you. You invited me on here, just like you invited me on here. We just talking. What if you just thought, actually, I'd be like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
But you said this. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, bro. Okay, like, whatever. After the video, he titled the video Red Pill versus Blue Pill. And he's like, I'm going after all these blue pill dudes, these soft dudes. I'm like, oh. So that was an ambush.
Yeah.
Just like you do this, you're going to cut up in the episodes, right? I'm sure the title of it is just going to be normal. Mr. LetGo says this.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be like,
simp,
stupid, idiot, bald head, ugly, stupid, broke, whatever.
Yeah.
But he did that. And I was like, oh, damn, he's one of them dudes.
Yeah.
Because dudes cornballs need other people in order to garner attention on them.
Right.
Because like I said, I started this through the whole time by myself. I even got the Airbnb by myself when they was over here. I travel sometimes to stay by because I like to separate myself from other people. You feel me? So the thing about it is he is one of these it's not just him. He's one of these cornballs that need bimbos or need beef or need a debate.
Conflict.
Some type of conflict in order to make their channel pop. I don't need not another soul to make my channel pop. And you the same way. You do your thing too. And that's why I like your content. But a lot of these other dudes, they can't survive a month talking on a microphone without another person talking. They cannot survive. They'll get like 12 views.
Yeah.
So they need the beef. They need all this other shit. So keep that in mind. He needs the attention of other people in order to get attention on him because he's a bum. He did that, and I was like, oh, man, what the hell? So my guy, Jeremy L. Holloway, he's in Atlanta also.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
He's from Memphis, and he just moved here probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
He was like, yo, you was on there with a little dude too?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what? He was like, yeah, man, I actually went out. He said,
I remember.
He went out there.
Yeah.
So he's sitting out there or whatever. And it was cordial. Hey, brother, I would love to have you out there. And that's the gay.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like me, say, yo, I don't like you. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably wouldn't go on your show because you don't like me. And it's okay. But he can't make no content by not liking somebody and saying they don't like somebody.
Up front, yeah.
So he got, hey, brother, I would love to have you on my show. And next thing you know, you're this. You're like, nigga, what? And then word is, terrible person does. I'm like, man. Yeah. So he does the same thing. He's super cordial. My guy, Jeremy. But then after he leaves, he was scared. He was this. I pumped him out.
Yeah.
Jeremy like, nigga, what? So Jeremy literally was like, nigga, I'll come back out there. And I'm like, bro, he's a bum. Why is you? Nah, I'm from Memphis. I ain't that type of person.
Yeah.
I don't. he showed me the DMs where Cooley did not respond.
Right.
He was like, I will fly back out there and beat your ass. Right? And I'm like, bro, what is you doing? Like, he's a cornball.
Yeah.
But he's different than me. So he has that, but I'm not like that because, like I said, I'm not like these niggas. So when Cooley did the response video, this was a year ago.
Yeah.
I responded to Cooley, and me and Jeremy talked about how lame he is or whatever, and that was really it. We went on with our lives.
So you did a response video after he put the video out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. After he put, I was like, look at this nigga. Look at this lame ass nigga. Because that was it. That was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on tonight's conversation.
Right.
Shout out to Ace. Shout out to tonight's conversation.
Shout out.
You know, we tour across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on tonight's conversation on and off for 3 years.
Right.
I think. Right. So Ace was like, yo, come out to the house. We're gonna do some content. Bet. So I come out to the house, and he said, what I want to do is I want to have a crew of new people.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody here except for you and SD is going to be normal. It's going to be a whole new. I'm like, all right, that's going to be fun.
Right.
Cool. So I come out there, don't know who's going to be there. And all of a sudden, I literally walk into Ace's house.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in a foyer. And remember, me and Cooley did this back and forth, whatever. He was back and forth. I was just sitting there, bro, you lame. A year ago, he sees me there was a call sheet where you can tell who's going to be there and who you're going to do episodes with. Mm-hmm. And me and Cooley actually did 2-3 episodes together in the house.
Okay. Yeah.
So he knew I was coming, and he knew what time I was coming because the time is on the call sheet.
Yeah.
So next day, I walk in the door in the foyer, and I see a tall dude, just like making a beeline towards me. I ain't even put my stuff down.
Yeah.
Because you got to change your clothes. So because you're doing different episodes. So I got stuff in my hand or whatever, and it's like daddy coming home, and your kid is meeting you at the door, daddy, and it's like, give me a second, let me put my stuff down type. So I'm like, all right, I don't know who the dude is. I'm like, come on, man, because he's making a beeline towards me, and I'm like, let me put my stuff down. I'm thinking he's a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is. I just know it's a tall dude that's walking up to me like with the you know how you like this?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't even put stuff down yet. So I'm like, all right. So I'm dapping him up. I don't know who he is because I don't see him.
Right.
So I don't. And he daps me up. I'm like, I'm thinking he's a fan. Like, yo, man, I see you on tonight's conversation all the time. I'm thinking it's somebody that's used to seeing me on tonight's conversation, and he's happy to be on tonight's conversation with me. Mm-hmm. So he daps me up, and he's like, so you want to fight? Huh? You want to go outside and fight? What? I'm confused. Who are you?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Cooley. Remember, we was beefing on YouTube. I'm like, nigga, beefing?
Yeah.
We wasn't. What are you talking about? No, I'm just saying we're gonna be in this house, and it's gonna be a lot of tension, and you want to just go outside and fight? I'm like, sir, I'm wearing $1,000 shoes right now. I got $2,500 glasses on. Like, I'm here to do content. Do I look like I want to fight some random dude?
Yeah.
That I don't even remember your name until you told me. Mm-hmm. I didn't even recognize you before you told. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. No, I just wanted to make sure. So it ain't nothing? No. So while we talking, my guy, well, Ace's guy, actually, Jose, big swole dude, he interrupts us. What's going on, Mr. LetGo? Because men tell where there's something
Yeah.
is about to happen. So he comes over there, not breaks us up, but just like interrupts us, right?
Yeah.
And me and him start talking or whatever, and Jose is looking at me like, I was like, that was it. Because he's like, because it's a house full of new people.
Mm-hmm.
Jose knows me, but he don't know these other people. So he's like, you good? But with his eyes. Like, yeah, it's all good. So he's like, all right, cool. So we disperse, and in a couple seconds before Cooley walks away, I was like, yo, what was that? Right? And he was like, no, it's cool. We was beefing or whatever. I said, yo, I just need you to know, man, these my people in this house. You was about to get beat the up,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably didn't know it. So I would like for you to compose yourself, because we making money, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the setting to be run, and I don't even know you. So you do you, I do me, but you good? Because I don't want nothing to happen to you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the one to do it, because I'm the star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing all that.
Right.
So he's like, nah, we cool. And then he was like, and we're going to do some episodes together. Did you see we got episodes on the call sheet together? No, I don't know. But you good.
So that was gonna be my before you finish, because
Yeah.
that's gonna be my question. You didn't see the call sheets, or you didn't know who he was?
Both. I got there. I didn't look at the call sheet. It's in our emails.
Right.
Ace get mad that I don't look at the call sheet, because I get in there and don't, come on, man. But I know that I know that I'm supposed to be there at a certain time. But the entire call sheet, no. He's just be there at, I scheduled a flight.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, be there, and then we'll start filming with you. And I want to film with the other people for Thursday. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't see who was there.
Right.
I seen what time I was supposed to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and who I'm going to be on with on the first podcast episode.
Got you.
And I wasn't with him on the first podcast episode. That was like later on. The call sheet is like 3 days long.
Yeah.
I got a short little attention span. I'm not reading all this.
So Ace didn't know none of this though. He
Ace didn't know
about
what?
He didn't know about whatever with you and Cooley in the past. He wasn't aware of this.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say yes or no. I have no idea.
Got you.
Yeah.
So
Why you thought that? Why you said that?
no, I was just asking because, and he probably, if he did, he probably didn't care that it was that serious for something like that to go on.
Two dudes just talking and disagreeing with each other, and I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Like, what? Ace knows me. Me and Ace are like really good friends.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to him about Cooley before the video. He was like, what do you think about this dude? And I was like, I don't know the dude, but hell, I don't know. Because he'll be like, what you think about this dude? What do you think about this dude? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know who Cooley was, but Ace brought him to my attention before. What do you think about this
Before you
dude?
even got there.
Yeah.
And it still didn't register who he
No. I'm talking about years before.
Oh, years before. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ace, like I told you, me and Ace cool. So he'll always ask me, do you know somebody that would work in this lane? Then I mainly send him females. And then he was like, what do you think about this person? And then I didn't know who he was. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Gotcha.
So the thing about it is, when I ran across his content, when I did a response video to him, if I knew Ace wanted him to be on the podcast, but this was so long before that, I would have probably not did a response video to him.
I got you.
But I didn't know who the dude was. But altogether, Ace watches everybody, especially on Instagram, and he sees potential people that could be on the podcast or whatever. So I guess he was watching him or whatever. But whether he knew there was some type of tension, I don't care, because if I have tension with somebody, I can make money with the person.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fight people.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, people was like, yo, you ducked the fade.
Some people could see it that way. Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
because the thing about it is, one, I'm on another level than him. I remember I had a year earlier, I was able to see that the dude was a loser.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting a loser. First of all,
And it would be different if you was already talking about it. If you was like, yo, when I see you, it's on site.
yeah,
And then that happened. Yeah, it would
remember
be
I
different.
called him a cornball.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
He didn't say nothing disrespectful to me
Right.
for me to be mad at him.
Exactly.
I said something for him to be mad at me. So you asking me for a fade when I did not get any negativity from you
Right.
is I don't. And then we here to make money. And I'm dressed good. I'm smelling good. There's a house full of women because when I walk in a foyer, I see nothing but women. So I'm ready to get in there to see who in the house.
Yeah.
This nigga paying attention to me, and there's a whole house full of goddamn women.
Ready
I don't
to
know
go.
who in. I'm like, damn, who? About 15 women just in there. So I'm in there. He like, hey, you want to fight? I'm like, what?
That is a weird thing to say to somebody though. Like when you described it, I was like, is this a joke? Because that's a weird way if you really got a problem to even, in my opinion, do you want to fight? Hey, it was weird to me. I could see if you was talking, then this is just JR talking. I could see if you was just like, yo, this dude is corny. When I see him, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then when he sees you, you just like, yo, or whatever. Like, that'll be completely different. But to somebody's not on your radar and they just walk up to you on
Somebody you want to fight.
and you don't even know the climate or the temperature or your surroundings. Was this Atlanta?
No.
Okay, this
Ohio.
This is Ohio? Okay. Yeah, so if you was in Atlanta.
And then my mood is I'm finna do content, have some fun. I'm chilling or whatever. So the thing about it is, to the people watching, it's a difference when you out at a club and a dude bump into you and you bump into him or his girl say this or whatever. You're in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
We gotta fight.
Yeah.
Because I have to defend myself. I'm at a podcast at my homeboy's house.
Yeah.
One, what do I look like fighting some bum that is to a certain degree, this is probably the most money he's ever gotten paid to be a part of something. He's a bum, right? So why would I fight a bum that has never been in this environment? And I've been being here for 3 years. Like, you're in my environment. That's the first thing. You need to be lucky that you're in this environment with Ace.
Yeah, and that's the part that tripped me out because
Ace is a millionaire.
Yeah,
you're around millionaires. I'm not a millionaire, but you're around a millionaire. You're in a millionaire's house talking about you want to fight somebody.
Yeah.
So you're a bum, right? So that's the first thing. And then two, we're here to do content, and we're going to do content together. How we look like out in the grass or in the middle of his foyer, knocking over, falling over the table, breaking. You actually think we finna go do content after we done broke all kinds of shit? Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Third, the respect that I have for my friend Ace Metaphor. I'm not going to fight in this man's house.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you, you weirdo?
Yeah.
So I'm like, sir, can you get out of my face? You are beneath me. Because like I said, if you get beat up, you're going to get beat up by somebody else in my behalf. Because I'm paid to be here. I'm the paid talent. It's a nigga here that his job is to beat you the f up.
Yeah.
This ain't at no bar.
Right.
This is in a professional environment. I'm not fighting, because the thing about it is, like I said, these dudes, because have you ever seen me on a panel on Lapeef Network? Or any panel on YouTube?
I don't watch Lapeef.
Have you seen me on any panel?
Yeah.
Okay. I get invited on panels, right? Almost every time, it is some loser that comes up on the panel and says, yeah, Mr. LetGo, you was married and you left your wife and da-da-da, and you're a fraud. And And I'm like, sir, who are you?
Yeah.
It happens all the time because they don't come on my because I have control over my content. But when you on somebody else's, they have control. So they'll come on other person's and try to say try to start an argument. But it's not that they don't like me. They want to go viral.
Yeah.
So they use me because I'm up here to argue with, and then so they can go back to their page and say, I did this to Mr. LetGo. I washed Mr. LetGo. I did. And now they get views and notoriety because they're typing Mr. LetGo in the channel. Because the thing you already know, when you at somebody, that person's content is now connected to your content.
Right.
So now when people are looking for Mr. LetGo, their shows up in the videos, right? So niggas look to want to have some type of beef with me so they can get views and attention from people. But what a real nigga told me a long time ago, don't never let none of these losers trick you off the streets.
Yeah.
So I am not going to fight a loser or a bum so they can connect themselves to me, whether they win the fight or lose the fight or whatever. They can turn around and for another 3-4 months be connected to me and get notoriety off my name. No, bum, loser, whoever you are, and I'm not just talking to the little coolie dude, any of you people who try to have all these fake beefs with me, you're trying to create ways to feed your little pookie kids. And I'm not finna do that. So I'm not gonna give you any type of attention so you can eat off of me. Find your own way to, do that. So the thing about it is, it happens all the time. So when he did that, it's like a day at the office with me. I just never had nobody come to me in person in another state.
Yeah.
While I got bags in my hands and I'm getting paid to be on a podcast. Phil's at a bar and a nigga like, yo, Mr. LetGo, we finna fight because I don't know who this nigga is. Let's go. I don't want to fight, but I have to fight because we're in a fighting environment. But I'm a professional. I'm not doing that shit to my homeboys house. I've been in that house a million times. I'm not, you crazy? Yeah. If somebody want to say I'll duck the fate, I don't give a I don't fight losers. Unless it's at a bar.
Right. So what ended up happening after all the recording, after y'all did the podcast and everything?
Everything's cool.
No conversation. That was it. No.
Yeah, we did episode. We did I think 2 episodes together. That'll come out on tonight's conversation. And whenever I'm on the episode, I'll post what happened because Ace, all his content is behind the paywall.
Right.
And you can look up tonight's conversations is an actual app.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe to tonight's conversation and you'll be able to see everything. But altogether, the episodes are slowly coming out now. But the episode that I had with Cooley ain't came out. But yeah, it ain't nothing crazy.
Got you.
And I have no problem with Cooley. He went live, right? And then the thing that kind of had me laugh is when he was doing the show with tonight's conversation and me, the nigga reposted the same video of me and him like it just happened.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that, yo, y'all got into it yesterday? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Online? Huh? No, that was a year ago.
Yeah.
He reposted it. And then people on YouTube started doing response videos like it just happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this dude is
traction. Trying to get some
trying to get some traction. I was like, this dude is a loser. The thing about it is, I'm not going to fight you because I think it's like this. If I think you're a cornball, that doesn't mean I want to fight you. If I think you're a bum, that doesn't mean I want to fight you. If I think you're a loser, that doesn't mean I want to fight you. I don't want to fight anybody. For what? I'm happy. I told you, a lot of these dudes, they've had terrible lives. So they run around the world angry as hell, wanting to fight random people. I have a beautiful life. Kids happy, everything good with me. I don't want to fight a goddamn person. You niggas back there want to fight. Y'all niggas need therapy. Get a life.
And this is the last question, and I'm gonna get off this and wrap this up. But what are your thoughts about men who make certain content telling men to do things, and then when you find out who they are, it's the exact opposite? In this case, obviously, this man is a stepdad, if you will, or he married a single, or he has kids with a single mom who already has some kids already. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't care.
Yeah.
People got to do what they got to do to get their money. I think he's a cornball. I think Fresh and Fit is a cornball. I think a lot of these dudes are cornballs, but that doesn't mean I don't like you. That doesn't mean I want to fight you. So it's not like any vitriol. It's just my opinion about certain content creators. But my thing is, go get your money. Some of these niggas, they get more views than me because of the huge amount of incels that like that type of cornball content. I don't make cornball content. So have it your way. A lot of these dudes, they're really able to feed their family by feeding incels this cornball. If I was a cornball, I'd probably make the same content. Do your thing. If you're a hypocrite, we in Atlanta. A lot of these dudes in Atlanta broke as but they'll rent a Lambo and try to sell somebody a $2,000 course, but they live with their mama. So if I actually were to look at these guys and say, you're wrong, you shouldn't do that, I have to say the same thing about all these entrepreneurs in Atlanta
100. Teaching
you Bitcoin and all this crazy shit and Toro and all this other stuff. I got to say the same thing with that. We got to make our money I sold crack. Somebody could look at me like I'm a terrible person because I sold crack. I get it. Do what you got to do. Help tear down your own community and make money by doing it. I've done it when I was a kid, but I stopped doing it. So a lot of these young dudes, they may not have grown out of their tearing down the community in order to get a check type. I did it, but I evolved from that. So do you. There's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Cooley. If he's a hypocrite, cool. If he's not, cool or whatever. All the whatever for him. Because the thing about it is, I do content. So because I did 2 videos about Cooley.
Yeah.
It's content. Having fun.
Yeah.
Get a couple of super chats. Get an opportunity to sell my Deep Discussions card game.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But I don't want to fight these niggas.
Yeah. Getting too old for that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't disrespect the man.
Yeah.
Because when you disrespect somebody online, you do got to see that person.
Yeah.
But calling somebody a cornball is an opinion.
He may take it as disrespect, though, at the end of the day.
That means you are a cornball, though.
Yeah.
Hold on, am I right or wrong?
I'm just saying, some people, you can call them names. They may not feel that about themselves, but I get where you're coming from.
I want you to think about this. We in Atlanta. What is a bad thing that Atlanta is famous for?
You know, that the H and the G word. Or
Gay people.
The F word, yeah.
Gay people. If somebody knew you was in Atlanta and somebody, y'all gay in Atlanta.
Right.
Would you take offense?
I wouldn't take offense to it. But
some
people
I ain't gay, right?
So in the case of, and let's bring up, because Tasha K was saying this about Shannon Sharp. Say Shannon gets super upset when
he
people call
wants
him
to
gay.
fight people
when
when they call him gay.
Yeah.
So that means there's a possibility that he gay. And I'm not saying Shannon Sharp is gay, but I'm saying that if somebody calls you a cornball and you want to fight them, it means you're a cornball. If somebody calls you gay and you want to fight them, that means you're gay. So Shannon Sharp, you're probably gay, and Cooley, you're probably a cornball.
Damn.
Because you both want to fight people that call you names that shouldn't bother you if you're not these things. I ain't said nothing about nobody's kids, a mama, or nothing. I just think a person is a cornball. That is it. The most thing I've said, like about Cooley in particular, I said he got a white baby mama just like everybody else, and the chick, he with a chick that got a bunch of kids. That ain't nothing. Other people got We talk about single mothers all the time, but you can't talk about your girl being a single mother. That's being a hypocrite. So I ain't saying nothing about anything that anybody ain't said nothing about nothing else. Because if that's the case, all these women need to be beating up these red pill dudes. Because it'd be crazy if women started welling on random dudes.
Yeah.
Bitch, what's wrong? You'll be like, oh, see, she's an angry woman.
Yeah.
So if women started having the same energy that these cornballs have, wanting to fight somebody because they got called a name, you will look at the women like, oh, these women are angry. So you niggas is angry. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know how on Fresh and Fit, he'll start talking about a woman and she'll get up. You angry black woman?
Yeah.
Yes, she's an angry black woman. But the same thing about these niggas when they get equally mad when somebody calls them a cornball. You're an angry black woman too.
Yeah.
These niggas is women.
I think Charleston White said that on an interview about you willing to murder somebody by them calling you a name. You'll go that far as losing everything about somebody calling you a name. It just shows your temperament and where you stand in terms of that causing you to crash out completely and do that. So
I'm not crashing out for nobody.
Yeah.
You can call me whatever name in the book. I don't care because these niggas don't know me, and a lot of these niggas, they're nowhere on my level. So it's kind of like how people talk about Beyonce or Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z don't hear that. Beyonce don't hear that. You actually think Jay-Z going fight Ja Rule? Me fighting Cooley is like Jay-Z fighting Ja Rule. Is you crazy?
Yeah.
We both rappers, but we ain't on the same level. It's crazy, man.
You grew up in Atlanta. What's your thoughts on the state of Atlanta dating and just in general?
I would say it's dangerous. A female friend of mine hit me up yesterday, the day before yesterday, was like, there's this girl, I think she was at a bar somewhere, and Miss LetGo came up or something like that. And then, I don't know, something came up or whatever. And then he's like, my friend is Miss LetGo. She's like, oh, really? Oh, I want to talk to him. Da, da, da. And then she called me up, hey, this girl, she want to holler at you. And I'm like, you know I got a type. She's like, oh, I know your type. She looked like your type or whatever.
Yeah.
And size-wise, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, what's her Instagram? I looked at Instagram. I was like, this might be a dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of Transformers and in Atlanta. And they get sex changes and so I look at the hips and whether they... See, the thing about it is with the single mother thing, I feel more comfortable dating a single mother than a woman that ain't got no kids. Because if you're over 30 and you ain't got no kids and you live in Atlanta, there's a small possibility that you may be a dude. So it's a lot of Transformers out here. And shout out to the Transformers. I'm not mad at nobody, whatever. But yeah, I looked at that person's hips and I was like, nah, I'm good. A chick with no hips.
Yeah.
That's not really the most sexiest anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, somebody that you may want to take down because they want to holler at you.
Yeah.
You still gotta be like, this might not even be a woman.
Yeah.
Or used to be a dude or some or is a woman. I don't know what it is you call it.
Yeah.
So now, so the state of Atlanta right now, be careful of women that don't have hips. Be careful of wig wearers because they can hide a lot behind them wigs and the eyelashes. Because in my opinion, the wigs and the eyelashes were actually created for drag queens.
For sure.
So the drag queens would just dress up like women, but they be whole dudes, and nobody expected them to look like a woman. It was just what drag queens did. But then they morphed into the Transformers, and now they getting surgery, and they actually can look like a woman to some people. Then they put the wig and the eyelashes on, and then damn, you can't distinguish the...
Absolutely.
No, I need to see your whole neck Because the thing about what wigs do, they hide the back of your head. So a woman will have a wig on and none of this is showing. I need to see how small your neck is, because a chick could be fat. You see a chick on social media or whatever, she could be fat because she got a wig on. You need to see how fat her neck is.
Yeah.
You need to see her shoulder blades. Dudes don't have shoulder blades because we are muscular.
Yeah.
Women have shoulder blades. So I need to see all these things. So if I don't see a woman's shoulder blades, if I don't see a woman's how skinny her neck is, I'm good. So some wig wearers, if she got a kid, single, shout out to single mothers, I will take down a wig wearer with kids before I would take down a wig wearer without kids, because some of you wig wearers are dudes.
Hey, I don't know.
Y'all ain't gonna get me. But if you don't spit out some kids,
Yeah.
I'll take you down because I'm comfortable knowing that you're not a man.
What Shame said in that low down dirty Shame? Better show me some tits or die. What he said to that when he woke up. Yo, where's the best for the people who come into Atlanta, who are looking to move to Atlanta, right? Where's the people who are already here? Where's the best places to meet people in Atlanta?
Atlanta is outside. So as long as you outside, because there's women everywhere. I'm not a best place to meet people. Man, I used to meet women at the gas station.
For sure.
Man, you pull up, because it's like popular gas stations in Atlanta.
Okay.
You pull up to a Quick Trip and Howard Mill. You pull up to is a gas station not too far from here, not like in Midtown. It's gas stations that be lit because there's women all over the place. So you ain't really gotta go somewhere. If you're a guy, for the guys, all you really gotta do is ride through Atlanta 9, 10 o'clock at night. And it's not many gas stations downtown.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
All you got to do is ride through, check out, just type in closest gas station, closest Quick Trip.
Yeah.
And then go to the Quick Trip. It's going to be full of people. They're not hanging out, they're getting gas.
Yeah.
Because everybody got a car out here.
Yeah.
Pull up, get gas. On pump number 3, it's going to be a bad. Walk your ass over there and say something cool. But guess what? If you're an incel, you probably ain't never approached a woman at a gas station in your life. Well, you're gonna be like, oh, can I buy you a drink in a bar type? See, I like to holler at women outside.
Yeah.
Walk down the street type or whatever, just out, like walking into a restaurant or whatever. Walking to. I'm not that, can I buy you a drink person? I don't need all the frilly stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just walk up to a woman. Yeah. So I'm an outside person. So I'm the wrong person to ask about which bar to go to, because I'm not spending money to meet women.
Yeah.
I'm finna catch you at a gas station.
Right. Just random, best places, just random spots. Not lounges, bars, clubs, strip clubs, none of that. Just random, because beautiful women are everywhere out
They
here.
are everywhere at the go to vegan places.
Right.
It's chicks, little vegan chicks. Go to Chipotle, somebody in the line. But the thing about it is, you gotta have enough balls to approach a woman cold. In a bar that's not cold, approaching.
Cold. Yeah.
They're expecting somebody to,
Absolutely.
and then you can con them into, can I buy you a drink type? No, catch a chick at a Chipotle or a chicken place or whatever, and see what you can do there. I'll walk up to a chick, be like, yo, why in the world is somebody as beautiful as you with a dirty car? Excuse me? You gonna wash it?
Yeah.
Actually, I've literally thrown a chick my keys. I'm at pump. I'll gas up your car and just follow me to a gas station. follow me to if it's during the day on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Follow me to a car wash, and I'm finna wash your car. What? Next thing you know, we fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying give your car to a random woman or
Because
whatever,
they're gonna say you simping.
but it's just, I'm just saying, just do stuff. I just say some crazy shit to a woman and whatever. You know?
you're right, man. Because it's that pressure. I think, as you said, when you out and about and you catch a woman outside of, and what I say outside of her element, because as you said in a bar, she's expecting that. She's expecting the dude to talk to her, as opposed to you just saying something randomly when it's she don't have anything rehearsed or whatever. You don't have nothing. It's just natural. Y'all meeting at the same level, because I feel like when you meet women at clubs, they're like up here already, because as opposed to you guys are meeting on the same. Same
I like
area.
to insult women. I be like, you are so cute for a black girl.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm joking. Something like that, you know, just say
get 'em
something
off
crazy.
guard, yeah.
You know, if you're in Target, just walk up to a woman and she happen to have a red shirt on. Excuse me, where are the Swiffers? Look, you got a red shirt on. Just because it's red, next thing you start a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just say some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
So anybody, you got any advice for anybody who's man or woman who's planning to move to the city of Atlanta and they may be looking to change their life or whatever? What's some things that they should be prepared for coming here?
You're going to get scammed. If you're a woman, it's going to be a dude that looks like he has some money, but in week number 2, he's going to try to move in with you. Because a lot of dudes out here that they're on their last dollar. See, the thing about it is, in Atlanta, during the COVID, a lot of dudes make a lot of money, but they are on their last, I would say, $40,000, and they don't have a job. And Airbnb don't dry it up, Turo don't dry it up, crypto, they don't took their money out of crypto, so crypto don't work because crypto is way up here. So putting money in crypto don't make no difference because crypto is at 90,000. If you ain't catch crypto when it was at 13,000, so the crypto people, if they stayed in it, they doing well. But a lot of these dudes, when crypto fell off, they lost all their money because crypto was at like about 65 and it went down to 13. And I lost money. A lot of other people lost money. But if I was this crypto guru, I'm not the crypto guru no more if crypto go down to 13. You feel me? So a lot of crypto gurus, they don't lost money. So a lot of these gurus in Atlanta, they own their last $40,000 and they do not have a job and they are looking for the next lick. And the thing that will keep them above water is moving in with a woman. Yeah, that's one thing women have to be careful of. Half of these dudes in Atlanta are looking for some woman to move in with. And to the dudes, like I said, you got to watch out for the no kid having 30-plus-year-old wig wearers. She may be a man. Not saying a woman who don't have kids who's 30 is a bad person. I'm just saying there are people that are trying to look like you that have penises. So I'm not saying nothing to the women who don't have kids and they look good and they wearing wigs and they over 30. I'm just saying there are a bunch of dudes that trying to look like you, and so be careful of that. But that's the reason why I like natural hair women who have at least one kid. At the most one kid.
At the most. Yeah. So what you got coming up, Aaron, for people to look out for?
I got my mother-daughter card game, and right now, I don't know when this is coming out. Is this coming out within a week, or you're a month down the road person?
Probably about within the next 2 weeks.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. My mother-daughter card game is not going to be on sale when y'all see it. It's $199, and if you broke, you're going to be in the comments, I'm not buying it. Yeah, you're a brokey. It's okay. It's okay. But I have my mother-daughter card game just came out. And it's therapy in a box, and it's changing women's lives. It's specifically meant to help women let go of their childhood trauma that
Mm-hmm.
came from their mother, because too many women spend a lot of their energy blaming us,
For sure.
and we ain't do to them. So just like I always say, I am a business. I am here as a servant to my community. So I have card games that actually help people let go of their childhood trauma. I'm not just a content creator. I do a lot of different things. And my other card game is called Deeper Discussions. And that card game is for men and women. And that is meant to help you vet the other person. So if you're a guy, I will say buy my card game so you can, because it's 81 questions where you could just simply say, hey, instead of going to the movies or something crazy, how about we just go somewhere where it's quiet and let's play this fun card game and we can get to know each other. And then boom, you can have a cheap date, because women are totally okay with a cheap date
For sure.
as long as you have some toys. And toys, I don't mean sex toys. Something to, like, as an example, a woman will do a picnic because it's a picnic.
There you go.
It's something that's fun. If you say, hey, let's go here, somewhere that's quiet, it's just like in a lobby where you at, right? Just boom, hang out at the lobby and let's play this fun card game. A little something like that. So yeah, I got my card games going out, and I got another card game coming out, but that's probably gonna be like 3 months from now.
Got
So yeah, this card game business is absolutely beautiful. And I ain't even started marketing my mother-daughter card game yet. I'm waiting on, I've had about 300 people to buy already.
Right.
And I'm waiting on those people to play the game with their moms. Because you got a mother-daughter card game, you're not playing with your mom tomorrow. It's going to take you a couple weeks for you to sit down with your mom and play the card game. So after a month or whatever, I'm going to start marketing heavy, because then I'm going to have a lot of testimonials, because I don't want to market a card game. I want other women to market a card game for
For
me,
sure.
because it's for them.
So where can people find you at if they're interested in checking out your content and this card game, the ones that you currently have?
Okay, so you can get my 2 card games at deeperdiscussions.shop. Deeperdiscussions.shop. And you can find me. You can just type in Mr. Let Go anywhere. Mr. Let Go on TikTok, Mr. Let Go on YouTube, Mr. Let Go on Instagram, Mr. Let Go on Twitter. And you'll see Mr. Let Go, and you'll see a red picture. That's me.
Yeah.
It'll be I am Mr. Let Go or Mr. Let Go 45, just depending on where you're, but everywhere is Mr. Let Go.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll have all the links in the description for you guys to check that out, and make sure you guys pick up a copy of, I'm about to say a copy. Make sure you guys pick up the cards for sure. Anything else you want to leave with, Aaron? I know we discussed some things, and I know we didn't touch on the fact that you recently had some issues
I had
as
cancer.
health wise. Yeah.
We touch on that real quick
Yeah.
before we go. I recently had lymphoma cancer, and I'm happy to say I beat it in 3 months. And there currently is a lawsuit out right now. Cancer is suing me because I beat the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cancer is trying to sue me. I don't think it's going to win, because, you know what I'm saying?
100.
But yeah, so I'm happy to say that I beat cancer. I beat the shit out of cancer in 3 months. And part of the way I beat cancer is literally I use my own principles that I teach to the people that I coach. I just recited them to myself.
That's right.
And it kept my brain waves, because everything starts from the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And lymphoma has a lot to do with lymph nodes. So I did a lot of research on lymph nodes instead of just, oh, I got cancer. So I went into it like from a scholar standpoint instead of a victim standpoint. And I learned about it. And I was just like, okay, really, lymphoma is simply your lymph nodes, and your cells is a blood thing.
Mm-hmm.
What am I feeding my cells? And I started paying attention to what I need to do. And the main thing that will help everybody, I got lymphoma because I'm extremely healthy, but nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because of my teeth. I have a video on my YouTube channel about, it's called, Did My Dentist give me cancer. Just type in, did my dentist give me cancer? And then type in Mr. Let Go after it. And there's a whole breakdown on that. But I found out in my research, because cancer is one of the best things that could have happened to me. Because one, it wasn't going to take me out of all people. Because like I told you, I'm not like you niggas. And shout out to anybody who died from cancer. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm not dying from no goddamn cancer. It's just not going to happen. But the thing about it is, you can have a root canal, and literally every single person, and I'll say it again, every single person that has gotten cancer on one side of their body, because my cancer was right here. You can have breast cancer right here. It's usually on one side of your body. A lot of times it came from the filling or the root canal or the rotten tooth that you have in your teeth, because you're in your mouth, because your teeth are connected to your brain, and is connected to your lymphatic system. So I had a root canal here and I had a lymph node here. And I was like, oh, you feel me?
Yeah.
That's what I learned about cancer.
Congratulations, brother, for beating that. I know that's this scourge that is affecting a lot of people daily, you know, and there's different approaches. People doing the holistic route, people doing the chemo route, people doing radiation and everything. So the mind is a powerful thing, like you said.
The mind is a powerful thing. Your stress level is a powerful thing.
Absolutely.
And just like I've said through this whole time, I'm not going to let none of you niggas stress me. So the reason why I don't let you niggas stress me, I was able to beat cancer in 3 months. So shout out to you niggas.
Man. Hey, man, I appreciate you showing up and you coming on the podcast and journey and sharing your experiences and clarifying some things for the people. And anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
That's it, man. I want to say I appreciate you having me. You good people. I've known you for a while. And this is dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I like your setup.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, with that being said, you guys, make sure you guys check out Mr. Let Go's products, his channel, social media, all those great things. And if you guys are interested and you're in the Atlanta area and being on the Atlanta Noir podcast, make sure you click that link in the description below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all platforms. You know what it is. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. Much blessings and abundance. Let's run it up to 1 million. I want to see you guys on the next one. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. We're out of here. Peace.